So let me take you to Anambra State. The news of Mr. Valentine Ozigbo's exit from Labour Party caused some stir within the political rank and file in the Labour Party in Anambra State and nationally. And when he announced his exit from the Labour Party, there are those who kicked against it and those who are wondering what exactly does the future hold. Mr. Valentine Ozigbo was the former governorship candidate of the PDP in 2021. It is live for us here in our studio. Thanks so much indeed for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Sharon.
Officially, you are out of Labour Party.
Officially, I'm a member of APC.
Wow, interesting. A lot of people did not see that coming, did
Yes, they didn't.
Why did you make that choice?
It was a very, very well-informed choice. There are a couple of things I don't find comfortable with in Labour Party, both at the national level and at the state level. And it's not just about what I wasn't comfortable with, but also the outcome that we started to see. We started to see a lot of defections, also loss of elections, and it looked like we were going this way. And it got to a point that as always, I want to put the interest of Anambra first. And in that regard, the real question became, what is the future of Labour Party like? I didn't see a clear, bright future. As a matter of fact, even the national leader, Peter Obi himself, is in, of course, discussions. Everybody's aware of that. There are discussions around coalition. And so if eventually we are seeing almost like the death of Labour Party, then it wouldn't be the nice and wonderful platform to prosecute the ambition we have, not just for personal reason, but because, like I said before, I want to always prioritize a number of people. We've developed a wonderful brand in politics. We've taken our momentum to a level, and some young people started saying to me, Val, if you don't run for this election, we're going to beat you up. That could be a joke, but that's a signal of what was important. Now, so the real question became, if it's not Labour Party, where do we go from here? And like I say, even when I talk to a lot of my colleagues then in Labour Party, everybody, including those elected, are already comfortable and maybe very small are going to defect. So if it's not going to be Labour Party, and what some of these things I have put out publicly, the convention that took place at Newe was flawed. The Congress in Anambra State was flawed. The processes, the internal democracy wasn't there. And you can't even be guaranteed a fair play in what Labour Party was doing. And like I said, the outcome was very telling. Look at the performance in Imo State. Look at Edo State. Look at Bayelsa. Look at Ondo. So why would anybody who is serious-minded actually want to use that platform to run for an election?
So things are falling apart.
Oh, yeah, of course, it's obvious. I'm sure you know that. So the real question for me was, where do we go from here? Move to which other party? PDP? Similar issues also taking place in those places, both at the state level and national level.
What about APGA?
That's where that's where your friend is. So APGA wasn't an option. Soludo is there. He's running for second terms. And we are intent on removing him because he's not doing well. And a number of people are excited about the performance, the insecurity, the arrogance, the touts, and all of that going on in Anambra State. And so to be able to redeem Anambra and reclaim and redirect us, where do we go from here? And I've asked this question to a lot of people who are writing, indifferent or negative about this move. I simply end up with the same question. I'm asking you, Cheryl, if you're in Valentine's position, what would you do? And the answer, honestly, was either of two things. Run with APC or don't run at all. That's basically the option. Because any other option wouldn't make sense. You can't pick any party who is relatively unknown to be able to remove an incumbent. Where are you going to deploy the resources? I'm not one of those who have stolen money from government coffers. So I want to be deliberate and measured in every step I take. And I also want to say to you, it's not just a decision I just woke up. It took intense consultations, not just among the people in politics, also the people of God. How do we move Anambra forward? And I said to you, the only option really was APC, and particularly because we've seen the dexterity, the resoluteness, the fact there's a leader who can take full charge and redirect things properly. And Anambra is a very important state. It's a state dear to my heart, and we see Anambra as the headship of the Igbos, and there's need for us to actually redirect properly. If you truly want to make a change in Anambra State, why even delay further? Tapping and plugging to the grid is very important. And the kind of opposition politics I see in Nigeria is not helpful. I see a lot of leaders just showing selfishness and drawing parallel lines that will never come together. And so, if you do intense analysis, you will end up with the same conclusion that the best at this moment, at this point in time, is to actually take Anambra and work with the APC leadership and rebuild that party, rebuild the state, and move forward.
Perhaps one of the things that got a lot of your followers and those who have been following, got them talking, is the fact that you are being on the side that heavily criticized the APC. And now seeing you abandoning or jumping ship and suddenly moving to the other side that you have heavily criticized, there are a lot of people who have said, so it's Valentine going to his vomit.
Not really. I want you to understand this way. So here we are in Labour Party, hoping we could build a platform that Nigerians could be proud of. And suddenly realizing that the same party is not even better off than the party you were criticizing. So you say to yourself, if you're interested in rebuilding this country, what would you do? Disappear? Or wait until some oppositions become serious? Or actually go into that big party, big platform, and start the change within? What would you do? What I took is a very deliberate decision. And that's what I said to people. Valentine Ozigbo will always be Valentine Ozigbo. That same person you fell in love with, who you know his character, his competence, his capacity. And so when I go into APC, now that I'm in APC, what I have to do is to start the change within. By the way I would govern, for instance, by the suggestions I will make to Mr. President and what have you. And the idea is that we should be in a hurry to rebuild this country. And any moment we lose is lost forever. So I don't think that the best thing for me to do is wait until some opposition come together and become serious. No, you can actually internally start the rebuilding process.
So that's a frustration and lack of choice that you chose the APC.
Not only that, there is a bit of frustration, but there's also some pull factor. That pull factor is the point I'm making here. That, do you know what it means if suddenly we take APC, which is now the largest party, which is the party in power, if we actually make some contributions, add value to that party, and see that trajectory move forward? My belief in life is a culture of continuous improvement, that no matter what APC is doing today, there are areas of improvement. There are things we can improve in that party. I'm actually, by saying this, inviting other people of goodwill. Let's actually come together. We can actually get into APC and make it a much better party.
Did you tell your friend Peter Obi, maybe you want to join APC too?
I told him a few things, not about coming to APC, but I would like to welcome him to APC someday if he so desires. But here is the point. I engaged everybody I needed to engage with, as much as I could remember, to say to them, here are the options. And I had a meeting with Peter Obi, and I said to him, I don't see me running for this election on the Labour Party. So I'm sorry, I'm going to take a decision soon. Yeah, the day I mentioned to him I'm leaving Labour Party, the next day I moved to APC because I had to go and visit the Labour Party. I said goodbye to them. And I told them to their face, here are the things that have happened I am not proud of. That even, we held a Congress in Anambra State, it was a charade. The process was totally flawed. And some people just come together and just the same things we thought we were better than criticizing other parties for, it became clear, and like I said yesterday on national TV, that Labour Party was almost becoming worse than the two of APC and PDP combined. And I mean what I say, because I expected a lot better. So here is what I'm saying to everybody. I don't think we should just keep delaying this process of renaissance. I think the best thing to do is come together as a country, put our Nigerian country first. For me, put Anambra second. And of course, above all of this is God. Then put Nigerian people first. If you do that, you will not have any other better decision than what
Let me ask you this one. Would Peter Obi campaign for you?
In 2025.
When the elections are here, when the campaign starts?
I would love everybody to campaign for me. I would want Peter Obi to campaign for me. But if he so desires that he wants to campaign for somebody else, he has a choice. Right now, I am a member of APC. I want to fly the flag of APC. I want to win under APC. And I want to redeem Anambra under APC. And I actually think that redemption process will be faster. Because, come on, if some big ideas that I have, some of them state-wise, some of them regional-wise, will require collaboration and cooperation of the center. It will be easier to be able to knock on the door when you're of the same party. And Anambra has suffered for so long because of this. I mean, for 20 years plus now, we've been on ABGA, and we're not seeing the value. Let us tap into the center. My original idea was we can take a level and rebuild it and move beyond. But you can see we're just talking Abia. Beyond Abia, I don't see any other option. And I sincerely believe that the best thing for us right now is not keep delaying. How old are we today? How old am I today? If in this my prime and having built this brand, people have said a lot of things on social media because they trusted Valentine. And I'm saying to them, Valentine hasn't changed because he moved a party. After all, Cheryl, it's actually about the candidate more than it's about the party. So because even within APC,
the philosophy
there are a lot of people who are doing well in APC.
There are those who will say that, I mean, you've campaigned against the APC, and they say, show me your friends, and I will tell you who you are. You've been in the company of people whom you were comfortable with, whom you will say, these are the kind of character that I want to be identified with. You've preached against the characters in the APC, and that's perhaps the reasons why those who were those who were very critical of you, saying that something must have changed in you, and which you have explained anyway.
Guess what, Cheryl?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes we also sit on the other side and pontificate. Here was I also, some of us, thinking that we were better. This is the point I'm making. Cheryl, you know me. You can actually be on that side and think we're better. But the dynamism of this world, it gets to a point you actually start asking yourself, come on, are you really sure you're even better? The truth of the matter is that I haven't even become candidate of APC. I've just been a few days into APC. But I'm getting some vibes that are even better than what I've enjoyed in the Labour Party that I helped to build. That's the point I'm making. Is sometimes the pasture is greener on the other on the other side. But here is the point. At the end of the day, it's not what people are or who they are, is what they do that can condemn. My principle in life is, if I can redirect the behavior, improve on the character of some people for greater impact, better start doing it now rather than tomorrow.
All right, let's pause for a moment. We'll take a break. From obedient movement to the Valiant movement. Will that movement that Valentine Ozigbo is dumping be of benefit to him in the Valiant movement? How valiant will this new movement be in the face of the contest for the APC ticket? We'll be right back after this break, everyone. Our conversation with Valentine Ozigbo continues. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. We've been having a conversation with Valentine Ozigbo, who recently dumped the Labour Party and has moved now to the APC. Thank you so much indeed, Mr. Ozigbo.
Thank you.
there are those who will say, as you were looking out, some other people were looking in. The likes of Moghalu moved into the Labour Party, left the APC, and he said a lot of things about the APC and how the party is not competent enough as a platform for him to ride on. And you do not see any good in the Labour Party as a tool for you or as a platform for you to run on. And there are those who will say that your judgment is flawed on that basis. Moghalu, who is one of the founding fathers of the of the APC, who dumped the APC and moved to the Labour Party, who sees the performance of Labour Party in the presidential election for Peter Obi, and he thinks that that possibility is there to be able to harvest those kind of votes.
I know Moghalu is an elder compared to me. Otherwise, I would have said to him what a child sees. Standing up, elders. What an elder sees sitting down, a child can't even see standing up. So that's his choice, and I believe it won't be long before he comes to the same conclusion with me. And I wish Labour Party well. I'm not here really to demarket the Labour Party, but I'm saying
so you think Moghalu is in
I'm saying to you and to everyone, I personally don't see a future in Labour Party. That's my judgment, and I'm happy to live with it. And I would love to be proven wrong. So if he finds comfort, and so be it.
How do you defend then those who say you have a character of use and dump? You saw the PDP, used it, dump it. Use the Labour Party, use it, dump it. You're moving to the APC now.
Actually, it's a very wrong way to characterize this. It's rather about somebody who is insistent on right process and due process. It will be that we are also talking about left NPP to ABGA to PDP to Labour Party, and I can almost guarantee that if he wishes to run for election, it's not going to be under Labour Party. I can almost guarantee that.
Really?
I am not his spokesperson, so maybe I'm
But you are close to him.
Maybe
I'm
wrong, but I'm a witness to a lot of discussions around coalitions, and which I can't tell you my own optimism about that. But the point here is that when you get into a party, I enjoyed my time in PDP. They granted us free and fair primary, and I was proud of what the then Uche Secondus did. When the later leadership showed up, a lot of things changed in PDP. And part of the reason why they also have not done well in recent time. And so when Peter Obi left PDP to join Labour Party, because what I do is purposeful politics, not transactional politics, I thought that the best decision was to join Peter Obi, to support him. And I can boast to being one of the biggest and most impactful supporters he had in that election, coming out of Southeast. And so, no regrets for that support. I was proud of whatever effort I put in there because I believed in this country. I wanted to sacrifice for this country. And to now suggest that if Labour is dying, I should die with Labour would be very wicked of anybody. And that's the point I'm making. Over time, you will see what I'm saying if you haven't seen it now. In fact, if you're a politician, if you're a savvy politician, you would have noticed by now. I mean, how can you explain our performance in Edo? How do you explain that?
So you pronounce Labour Party dead or in comatose or in coma?
You're sometimes like to get some words out of somebody's mouth. You're not going to get from me. I've said enough about Labour Party.
All right,
I'm not here to demarket Labour Party.
Let me ask you about the obedient movement.
Yes.
That did a lot for Labour Party and Peter Obi in Anambra State. It was a clear sweep for Peter Obi. Are you worried that now you have the Valiant movement, and I imagine that obedient from Peter Obi, now Valiant from Val, am I right?
That's a similarity, yeah.
So, Valiant in what sense?
Okay, so I'm happy when you spoke about my shift, you said from Labour Party to APC, but you didn't say from Obedient to Valiant, because the two are actually not mutually exclusive. You can be Obedient and Valiant at the same time. Obedient is a national movement. Valiant is majorly for Anambra. Valiant are not just people who are in pursuit of better Nigeria, better Anambra, but also people who see Valentine Ozigbo as representing that hope for better Anambra. And so there was need for me to define who my supporters and how I like them to behave and believe. And the word Valiant signifies courage. I like Anambra youth to actually believe that their own destiny is in their own hand. If they stand for what is right, if they can actually go the whole hog of insisting that the right thing is done at all times. And that's what this movement is all about. So I am more centric about Anambra, and to see how we can change our narrative. And so some of the leaders of Obedience are also leaders in the Valiant, so they are not mutually exclusive at all. So they are not in competition, by the way.
So you can have the, in quotes, the membership card of Obedient, and you can use it in the Valiant movement, because according to you, they are more or less the same.
It's not the same, because there could be some Obedience that are not Valiant. But I'm saying that if you're an Obedient and you wish to be Valiant...
So you were Obedient, or you are still Obedient?
I am Obedient in the sense that I am pursuing the cause of a better Nigeria. The definition of Obedient in my own heart is that somebody who hungers for a better country. And you always see that in me. And that's what I'm promising people who listen to me today. The Valentine that was Obedient is still the same Valentine that is Valiant and also Obedient at the same time.
All right. I mean, it just sounds interesting that you are Obedient but APC.
Yes. As a matter of fact, that's...
are they Obedient and APC?
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know.
Oh, no. Obedient is not Labour. Obedient has never been synonymous to Labour. There are Obedients that are not even in any party. There are Obedients in APC. There are Obedients in ABGA. There are Obedients in Labour. It's just that Obedients wanted to use Labour as a platform to prosecute their agenda. But a lot of the people, I'm telling you, some of the people who are entrenched in APC were actually very supportive of the Obedience. I'm not joking. So what we're seeing here is how to come together and say, what can we do to salvage this country? And if it requires that Valiant now has to support centrally APC, so be it. The whole idea, the mission remains the same: a better Anambra, better Nigeria.
Let me ask, are you able to harvest the Obedient votes, which was massive in the presidential election for Peter Obi?
As a matter of fact, Obedience have actually endorsed Valentine Ozigbo for 2025 election already. Even
without a platform yet?
And it was, agnostic of platform. In fact, the message was to Labour Party: if you know what is good for you, give Valentine Ozigbo ticket. However, if you fail to do so, any platform he runs, we will back him up. That has been the agenda. So whether some of the people there will keep to this commitment is a different matter. And that is why, because we also see cases of some people who may be obedient saying, no, we must support Labour, there was need to have a Valiant movement that is centric to Valentine's cause and whichever party he runs under.
So, and there are names in the APC that you'll be contending with for the ticket. And we are talking about Chukwuma Emeoji, talk about Professor Okonkwo, talk about John Bosco Obina, Paul Chukwuma, Nicholas Ukachukwu. These are heavyweights in their own stand, in their own ways. And the problem here is Valentine might be popular or have his own following, but the internal workings of the APC has its own structure and has its own leanings. What gives you the confidence you could clinch the ticket of the APC?
God and strategy. So, first, I have my tremendous respect for these brothers of mine. I know them well. They are my friends, they're my brothers, and quite frankly, we've also met in the field in different ways. Some of the people you've mentioned, either they ran under different party or my party. And, what was interesting is that I went into PDP in 2020 to run for election in 2021. I was asked similar kind of question. Valentine, there are 15 people in this race, 14 with you. And some of them are sitting senators, sitting House of Reps members, and billionaires of high repute and all of those stuff. How are you sure from nowhere, from Transcorp, you can get into a party like PDP and win the ticket? So what happened in the end? I defeated them and I came first and I won the ticket when I was relatively unknown, when I don't even have any following. I won the ticket.
And you see this happening again in APC?
Now that I'm ahead, now that I have following, the real question here should be, APC, are you interested in winning Anambra State? And if the answer is yes, then you have only one option. Just do whatever you have to do to field Valentine. Otherwise, you can be a candidate. And another story.
All right.
APC has fielded candidates upon candidates, but I am a candidate with a difference. I'm coming to add value. And that's why you're also having me here. So, many other people joined APC to run for governorship. Did you know about it, unless they showed up and called you to interview them? But I entered APC, and everywhere was on fire. There's a value that I'm coming to add to APC.
All right. Mr. Valentine Ozigbo, thank you so much indeed. He rose to become the president of Transcorp National. Thank you so much indeed for joining us, and I wish you the very best in your new family.
Thank you.